Give us an insight into, like, why did you do that? Was it the first time that you've done something like that? Basically, why pay someone that you don't even know that is an expert and like cold outreach to them to learn something? Why do that?
So, well, there's a couple of things in there. So why cold outreach? The secret of Fransmart's success is cold calling. I give ourselves a C- for digital marketing. I give ourselves sort of a B for PR. The main reason that we're so successful is we go after exactly who we want. We don't just throw it out there and see who's ringing the phone, right? And so when she said, I want to be the Orange Theory of skincare, I went to Orange Theory. Like, she's based in the DC Metro. I literally went to LinkedIn, Washington, DC, Orange Theory operations, something like, I forgot what I did. A whole bunch of people popped up. And I went to, and I just looked at her and I'm like, I sent her a note and I just said, here's my background. I did all these brands. I'm starting to do non-food. This brand's in the city. Would you go check it out? I know nothing about facials. Like, we live in Scottsdale, so I couldn't ask my wife to go look at it. So would you look at it? I'll Venmo you the money. But we're talking hundreds of dollars. It wasn't thousands or tens of thousands. And it's the best few $100s I've ever spent. And so she went and she gave me a very copious, like, she took the project serious and she didn't just say, oh, I liked it. It was wonderful. She goes, here's why I liked it. Here's what's different. Here's compared to this group. Here's what you guys are doing different. She was super articulate about what was unique, special, and different about this brand. And she goes, I don't know what your plan is with this brand, but if you're interested, I'm interested. And so I hired her right away. And she's great because not only, like, she understands membership pre-sales, she brings so much experience and sort of calm to the party. And then this membership pre-sale. So she's better than just trying to sell anything to anyone. Like, she'll tell us, she goes, I don't think this person's going to do it right. I think this person's got the wrong attitude, the wrong personality. She's going to run off people. And, I don't think that they're going to do it right, or they want to cut corners. So she'll weed people out of the funnel too, right? It's not just sell whoever to whatever. She brings in the right people. And then once they're in the system, she can go out and look at real estate. She can help them with membership pre-sales. She can help people build the team. So, like, we have franchisees that are in education or healthcare or haircutting. Like, we have these state franchisees. They know how to build haircutting places. They don't know how to build spa places. But they don't know how to build membership-based places. So she'll say, here's what your org chart should look like. Here's where to find the person. I'll even help you with the interviews, blah, 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 blah. She's way more, like, contrast that with most of the salespeople that you run into at franchise shows. Those sales guys are just trying to get a deal done. They're not useful beyond that. So, I like that. But that's basically what I did with her. Another case is I went to restaurants. Restaurants are hard. And I said, I actually went to a headhunter who headhunts restaurant general managers and directors of operations. I said, what if, because franchise salespeople, really good ones, cost a lot of money, and most of them are terrible. And so this restaurant ops guy, director of ops, these people make far less than franchise salespeople, but they actually know what they're doing. So I went to a headhunter and said, I'm just going to try this. And I said, what if you went to someone, I want someone who's opened up at least 5 restaurants, opened as the lead opener, because opening a restaurant is hard. Nothing works right. And you're herding cats. Half the people that you hire quit within 60 days, 90 days. It's hard. So I want someone who knows how to do all that stuff and who knows, building teams, has promoted at least 5 or 6 managers, blah, blah, blah. She gives me this guy, Nate. And Nate, great personality, not sales guy at all, but he knows exactly what he's selling. He also is really good at saying this person won't be successful owning the restaurant. They don't understand, like, I'm trying to talk to them about the organization and the marketing and how you have to overstaff for the first stores. And they're all trying to push back and cut corners. They're not going to work. And so Nate, I think his second year with me was last year. He made 3.25 or something like that. Like, he made, more than most franchise salespeople are. And it's only his second year. We give our sales reps carry, so they get a piece of not only the salary and bonus, but they also get a piece of the carry. And then if there's a liquidity event, they participate in that. And so, which is an aligned compensation thing that I changed a couple of years ago about our business. But with these really good people, if you get really good salespeople that, ironically, they don't have to have a successful sales track record. If they have the right, like, I can teach them how to sell something, but, like, they know what they're doing. They're more useful, But now, like in the brands that these guys are selling, they're selling huge deals. And in both, the brands I'm thinking of, both of those two people I just mentioned, almost all of their franchisees, well, everyone was multi-unit. We don't sell single units. Everyone was multi-unit. Almost every one of each of their franchisees actually secured more territory, right? So they didn't just sell a deal, multi-unit deal. Those franchisees aren't just in and happy and successful. They're actually buying more geography. So if you do that right, like if you hire, and then conversely, like I've had salespeople in the past that, you see them, you go to these franchise shows, every year they're in a different booth, right? And so like these sales guys that'll sell anything to anybody, they're not useful beyond just processing leads. Their first question.
And they ask for big salaries too, right? Big salaries, low percentage of compensation.
Yeah, they all want a big salary, and their first question out of their mouth is, where are my leads? Where are my leads coming from? They want fish to jump in the boat, and they're not thinking about who's the best franchisee. And, and so we just don't. Like it was, in the 30 years I've been doing my business, I feel like I've reinvented myself a couple of times. The last iteration is when I moved to Scottsdale, moved the headquarters to Scottsdale. We kind of rebuilt the sales team, and I'm only growing with operations people who are already on ops or real estate. And we're aligning the compensation. I said, everywhere I get paid, you're getting paid. And so I get a piece of the fee, I get a little bit of the ongoing stuff, but really we are investing in the brands and we get a piece of the exit. And I said, you help me grow, you're going to get your pro rata share. Nobody I know in franchising offers sales reps the ability to get a piece of the exit. And in our case, we have a dozen brands. So you could sell any brand you want to sell, whatever one you're passionate about. Just be passionate, make your franchisee successful. If and when and where there's a liquidity event, you're going to get your pro rata share.
Well, now you know another group that's doing the same thing, because we saw the same gap in the marketplace where the sales reps, franchise development reps, they just got, they made a lot of money, but they didn't participate. And so we're like, we're going to change that. And so we have participation for our franchise sales reps, our franchise development folks, because we believe in full alignment. Like there's so many things that are misaligned when a group like ours helps a brand grow. We just looked at all the areas where there's misalignment, and, I'm sure there'll be further iterations of it, but we want that process to be aligned where we participate with that brand, and then our team participates with that brand as they go through a successful exit as well. So
there's enough to go around when they hit, right? When Five Guys, QDOBA, Halal Guys, when these things hit, there's enough to go around, and I don't need more money. And it's like, I want to do great projects, but there's enough to go around. You think about if you've got everybody aligned where they actually feel like an owner and they're proud, they don't punch the clock. They're really trying to think about, what can I do? And I find like, Nate or Abigail, like they're constantly all day long dishing up prospects, and I'll go look at the source of the lead. It'll say LinkedIn. It'll say database. It won't be from some ad or some, something that we did. They're going and hustling. They're like, okay, I got this brand. I want to sell Austin. Who's the best franchisee in Austin? Who would be ideal? Well, I mean, we like selling to franchisees. They've already decided to be self-employed, following somebody else's system. And after they open and realize it's not an ATM, they built more. And then especially if this guy's a multi-unit, multi-brand franchise, that guy's really trying to get somewhere using franchises. And so, that's where our salespeople are like, they already know. You call someone that's got 5 of this and 10 of this and 9 of this, you already know he's looking to get from somewhere to somewhere else. He's past the point where he's working for money. He's trying to build something else. You just have to ask the question. Like we sold for the skincare franchise, we sold all of Arizona to a group that I think has around 100 franchises. They have Jimmy John's and Papa John's and other things. And it's like, they're long past the point where they're doing this for rent. Right. And so it's more like, why are you looking to do? Like, you've already got 100. What are you trying to get to? And they're like, we want to grow 15, 20% a year. So that's $15 or $20 million a year. And then your question is like, well, if I could show you something better. And so like we approached this guy with the skincare thing, and he goes, I was wondering, he followed me on LinkedIn. He goes, I was wondering what you're doing at skincare. And I'm like, let me just send you the item 19. I'm just going to send you the FDD bookmarked item 19. Look at it. And he's like, yeah, I don't have anything that makes sense. It makes more profit than anything else he's working on, with half the investment and a quarter of the labor. And so, he winds up buying the whole state of Arizona. And it's like, you think about it, that's a trophy deal. You got a highly, highly successful multi-unit, multi-brand franchisee that eventually he's going to build a $25 million company. Think about the fees that come back to the franchisor. And it's like, that's what you want to do. Well, that happened because he's an operator. He's like, who would love this? And he knows exactly what about Glow is better than what's in the food business. So when he reached out to a food guy, he knew exactly the source to poke, like the source that franchisees have to poke, and landed a monster. So you're like, you get 5 or 6 franchisees like that, that company's going to grow to hundreds of units, and it's going to have a very, very, very big liquidity event. So it's like, that's all the reason that you need to hire the right people to do your marketing and sales.
Thanks for listening to the Franchise Secrets podcast. Links to everything can be found over at franchisesecrets.com. And if you want my help with anything from starting your own franchise to growing your current franchise business, please visit scalablefranchise.com.